Anyways, I gotta get going. Next week, I have a review of a video game that came out in 2007. I am not joking. What, you didn't believe me? The Nintendo Wii was a staple of a middle-class American household. I remember when we got our first Wii, it was because it was only an older version that we got at a garage sale, but we were happy regardless. It's a fucking Wii. Weird stories of family bowling tournaments and that one hot yoga instructor. So I guess you could say we were ready to dive into the world of Wii. One game in particular became my favorite. I remember using my allotted 30 minutes just playing this game. And that game is Raid Shadow Legend. No, it's Thrillville, off the rails. Long ago are the days of Wii, however. Luckily, Steam had it for only $5. What a steal! So I decided I would buy it and, just kind of catch up and see what's up with the world of Thrillville. Basic premise, you, a literal child, are put in charge of a theme park named Thrillville by an old man who I can only assume made poor life decisions. I mean, come on, you put 10-year-old Harley in charge of an entire theme park? I knew nothing of theme park management. Hell, 20-year-old Harley doesn't know anything about theme park management. Maybe that's where I went wrong in life. The premise gets an 8 out of 10 because, though it is irresponsible, it is every kid's dream, so, I can't rag on it too much. In this game, essentially you build coasters, talk to patrons, and generally do everything you can to keep this park alive. Imagine a stressed out toddler just sitting at a desk going, fuck, I don't know how I'm gonna keep this park afloat, I can't keep up with these bills. The profit margins aren't wide enough. Give me a second. I gotta call my wife. Bloop, 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 bloop. Hey, hun. I know I said I'd make it home for date night, but I'm working late again. Really, Frank? You do this every time. Woman, this old man put me in charge of this whole park. Oh my god, I cannot believe this. We go on. I don't know what you're talking about, woman. And you can't even make it. I can't do this anymore. Yeah, that was me playing Thrillville as a kid. And as far as the story goes, you just have to keep customers happy, which keeps the park afloat. It's pretty easy. The story's alright. I give it a 5 out of 10. Of course it can be limiting, because all you're doing is keeping these customers happy and opening new areas of the park. But, hey, what are you gonna get? It's 2007, baby. Worm on a string was the biggest thing. And those are the parts of the game I found to be the most boring. That's why I went so fast. I mean, what can I say? I am speed. Don't leave the video yet though. There are way better parts to this game. That's why I'm making this video. So the back half of the video is dedicated to the stuff I hold near and dear to my heart. And the features in this game are great. The roller coaster building is, constricted, but still enough for me to have fun while doing it. I do remember, however, having a particularly awkward time on the Wii remote, which might be the worst designed remote for video games in history, but on my computer, mouse and keyboard was way better. And of course, being a great roller coaster builder means that you have to ride said roller coasters after. I don't actually know, I've never met a coaster builder in my life. At least that's what I think a coaster builder would do. Wii! Get it? Like Nintendo Wii?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Unless, of course, you are a coaster builder.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
We've reached peak comedy. I think I'm done. I think I'm good to retire. We did it. Another feature is talking to the guest, which is honestly phenomenal. There's so many options to talk to the guest. My only gripe is I'm a grown man now. Let me clarify. When I was a kid, talking to the other kids and teens was awesome, especially given that you can flirt with them, which is weird, but come on, I was a weird kid. I was the Casanova of Thrillville. I mean, look at this guy. How can you not love this guy? Obviously, I'm not the Casanova of Thrillville anymore. I'm 20. So, obviously I'm not flirting with these kids in this video game. The moms, however, yeah, I tried. Fucking sue me, lock me up in horny jail. I don't give a shit. I wanted to see if you could. And you can't. So, I got foiled again. Originally, I had a 2-minute part of the script dedicated to how disappointed I was that you can't talk to MILFs in this game. But, after some consideration, I think it's right that you playing as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, whatever, aren't able to talk to a, 30-year-old and up, because that would be a little bit weird. Okay, back to present Harley. All in all, I'm just saying, if you make their polygons so curvy, why aren't you letting me try? You know? Whew. Okay, that was like 5 minutes. I give the features a 7 out of 10. I am still disappointed. Now, the whole reason I made this video. I will not lie, most of my time was spent on the minigames because I only had 30 minutes and also the game was chocked full of them. It's very hard to avoid the minigames in general. One of the first things that I did when I booted up Thrillville on my PC was I went to check out the minigame. When it comes to minigames in Thrillville, there are 2 categories. You have work and you have play. Have you ever found yourself playing a video game and thinking, I'm having too much fun? Well, that's where the work minigames come into play. I want you to remember this whole time that, again, we are an actual child running this park, so it might get a little weird when I say what I'm about to say. Well, we are a child in charge of this park, but at least we get to do the cool things like play games and build roller coasters and— Wrong! This place is filthy. There's trash everywhere, there's fucking puke everywhere, rides are breaking, people are fucking dead on the streets. So yeah, there's some work you have to do. Luckily, there's some men going around the park dressed as janitors and mechanics. But there's another issue. These men are glorified cosplayers. They don't know shit about how to do their job, so you, who hasn't been to trade school ever, hell, you've barely been to elementary school, have to possess these grown men and do their jobs so that they learn how to do it.
So don't do this at home. Now, as soon as I turn on this...
The mechanics minigame is my favorite. It's essentially a speed challenge where you try to complete circuits on a motherboard in the allotted amount of time. When I was younger, this game was so hard for me. It was rare that I ever completed one of these puzzles. Usually I would rage quit and go do other fun shit at the park. Turns out, I was really stupid because they give you the pieces in order. Sometimes they'll throw you one that goes on the opposite end of the circuit, but if they give you it in order, it's really fast. I mean, just look at the gameplay behind me. This is me playing it. I'm playing the game right now. It's super simple. I don't know why I was overthinking so much. That being said, this is still the most stressed out I've ever been while playing Thrillville. The timer at the top and the sound effects when you get one wrong really just put the cherry on top of the stress that you're already feeling. It feels like I'm defusing a bomb every time. I mean, just look at this one where I only had 2 seconds left. Hell, there's no audio for that, but I was like really hype screaming, you know, when you do a video game well and you're like, yeah baby, woo, all that shit. That was what I was doing. So I guess you could say I got really into it. That's all for the mechanics game though. It's super simple. I wish it was that way in real life. I would be making so much money. But I give it a 5 out of 10. The janitorial job is a little bit harder, but you know exactly when you need to start the janitorial jobs. Customers will be complaining, there will be trash on the street, puke, dead bodies will be in the walkway. Okay, I lied about the last part, but you get the idea. And the janitorial minigame can be summed up by just clean that shit up. They give you a magic vacuum that can clean up both trash and puke, all in the same, no prep needed. Yeah, you just clean it up. I mean, what did you expect from me? 3 out of 10. Wait, you freaking bozo, you said there were 3 work minigames and you've only mentioned 2. Don't remind me. People in this park are really needy. The roller coasters aren't enough. The mini golf isn't enough. They need more. And apparently that more comes in the form of cheerleading. And maybe I'm crazy, but I've never seen nor heard about any cheerleaders at theme parks. I mean, hell, I was just at Six Flags the other day with all my friends, and I didn't see a single cheerleader. Wait a minute. I didn't see a single minigame either. Has it all been a lie? What am I doing? What lie have I been living? Alright. Anyways, the cheerleading game is literal hell. Think Guitar Hero, but they made it more inconvenient for you to play. Hell, for my little shots here, I just had to play on easy mode. The songs are bops though. I'll give it a 2 out of 10. That's all for the work part though, and you know what they say. I don't know what they say, but you know what they say. This is the moment that I realized there are about 50 minigames in Thrillville, and I am not going to cover them all. Don't worry guys, I have a plan. There are a select few that I remember that I'm going to talk about, and those are the best.
From the edge of an old west border town, he strolls in with a name that has seen some hard times. Tiny and strong, like an unexpected habanero pepper popping up in the middle of your breakfast burrito. He is Bandito Chinchilla.
This is the best minigame that Thrillville has to offer. Bandito Chinchilla is a game within a game. You can play as one of 4 chihuahuas fighting through 4 really long stages in order to save your chihuahua sister. And can we talk about this for a second? When I was writing the script, I kept tripping up over myself because I was like, Bandito Chinchilla? But they're chihuahuas. So I kept writing Bandito Chihuahua, which is wrong. And Thrillville, the little trolls that they are, they reference it in the dialogue options that he's not a bandito nor a chinchilla. It's the chihuahua.
I must say you're doing a simply smashing job. Do endeavor to reach the pinnacle of park management and you will be greatly rewarded. Perhaps I will even tell you why I am referred to as a chinchilla when I am in fact a dog. But
that's all for that though. The only bad thing I have to say about this game is how long it is. It takes about 45 minutes to complete, which at that point, add some more levels, make it a whole game on its own. I would fucking play it. It seems great. I played Bandito Chinchilla for so long that when I came back out of the minigame and I was in Thrillville, I was a little confused. Playing this game was like a dream within a dream. I did have to pinch myself to make sure that I didn't end up in the cheerleading minigame again. As far as the actual game goes, it's really simple if you're patient. I use a speed build as I do in most games, and this really helps because you can just stun lock the enemies. Additionally, your attacks do area of effect attacks rather than precise one-on-one against an enemy. So, if you stack enemies up, you can finish most of them in one combo. And yes, I did spend a good amount of time thinking about the strategy that goes into playing Bandito Chinchilla. This minigame is an easy 9 out of 10. I wanted to put it as a 10 out of 10, but I'm playing too much time on Bandito Chinchilla, and I'm not even focusing on the economic situation in the park, so, you know. Okay, upon further review, it seems like 80% of these games are just clones of each other, and there are a lot of racing clones. So I'll take a minute here just to talk about the racing in the game. When you go up to an empty roller coaster slot, it does give you an option to build a racetrack instead. Of course, usually you wouldn't build a racetrack instead because roller coasters are just way more cool. But let's entertain the fact that I did this for one, okay? It works pretty much the same. You build all the stuff, you add your finish line, and then you and your friends can race along the track, or just people in the park. And that is essentially the basis of the clones. If you don't end up building a track, however, you're still in luck. They come with a bunch of pre-built tracks that if you load up the racing game, it'll just throw you in one of those in an indiscriminate location. The racing games get a 4 out of 10. I'm sure it would be much more fun if I had my friends play it, but I am not going to ask my friends to hop on video games just to play Thrillville off the rails racing. Sorry. That brings us to the next main staple minigame in this video game, Sparkle Island. If I'm being completely honest, I remember Sparkle Island being better than it actually was. This game was obviously made for, you know, the girl demographic, given it's 2007 and everything has to be either boy or girl, nothing can be for both. Essentially, it is a generic platformer where you are a kitten who shoots sparkles at blobs to save baby chicks. You know, all the cutest stuff in the world mashed up together in a platformer. It seems like Thrillville really likes this game. They gave it a sequel and a prequel, so it can get confusing the order that you have to play them in anyway. Bandito Chinchilla didn't get a sequel, didn't get a prequel, didn't get shit. And that's the best fucking minigame in here. So I don't know what the fuck they're on giving Sparkle Island 3 fucking games and Bandito Chinchilla only fucking 1. Especially given Sparkle Island isn't a small game at all. I played Sparkle Island 2, that shit has like 25 levels. What the fuck? And I think somewhere inside, I know that all of these are going to be the same thing, which is boring. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. And yes, I am salty because I'm a Bandito Chinchilla stan who didn't get a prequel. That shit would have been fucking sick, dude. This brings us to our last minigame, or minigame type, I might add. You know, some parents, they're like, video games are going to make my kid violent. Video games are so violent. Bitch, I'm playing Thrillville off the rails. I'm just kidding, we can never escape first-person shooters. Thrillville has 3 first-person shooter clones, if you're not counting the shooting galleries, which would give you 3 more, all matching in themes. I'm not talking about the shooting galleries, they're shooting galleries. Aim, click, things happen, whatever. And I am someone who has played a lot of first-person shooters.
That's not how this works.
Come on, bitches. Bitches all on my dick and every day. Sucking on my balls.
You're gonna die, bro.
Come on, you son of a bitch.
It's just painful.
What a play.
I'm not great at them, but I still play them, so I thought I'd see how Thrillvilles check out. I gotta be honest, I really enjoyed the shooters in Thrillville. They reminded me of when I would play Quake on my family's old PC. You guys remember freaking Quake, dude? The PC was so old I couldn't connect to the internet, and so I had to play against bots all the time, but I still had so much fun. The graphics didn't matter, I was a kid, so I was just having fun, shooting guns, doing shit, right? I felt like I was cool. This game replicates that almost perfectly, even down to the bad graphics as you go. You end up shooting robots because this game is E for everyone and can't have violence, which is completely fine. I still had fun doing it. And I can firmly say that I am the best first-person shooter in Thrillville Off the Rails history. Here's a montage.
Bravo 6.
Yeah.
Going dark.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah.
Please tell me all the bad, never good. Fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth. Can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about. Have your cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round. I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Another funny thing about this minigame is if you shoot a robot in the arm, it'll just lose its gun and its arm, and then they just have to stare awkwardly at you like this, which I found hilarious every time. And the graphics of course date this minigame, but it's still an 8 out of 10 in my book. I had so much fun doing it. I played all 3, as opposed to the racing one where I played like 2 of the variants, so... Thrillville was so much fun to revisit. Would I play this game consistently? Hell no. But would I revisit if, you know, I get an itch in the back of my head that needs attention? Of course. Do you guys remember Thrillville, or am I alone here? This video might be too niche. Leave it in the comments if you do. Thrillville gets a 5.5 out of 10. And if you're wondering where I got that number from, I took all of my scores from before and averaged it out, and I don't think you want to do the math, so I did it for you, okay? Let me know if you have any old things you want me to revisit and do like a retrospective of. I would love to. I feel like I'm gonna hit you guys with videos like this every once in a while just to avoid doing 3 TikTok videos in a row. Alright, I gotta go though. I just joined a Thrillville off the rails first-person shooter competitive match. I'll see you next week with something. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I will have something. Okay, bye!